Welcome back to the Aussie Prepper channel and welcome back to another video. Now, a lot of people will be loving this one. I've had countless requests for this video. I wasn't even going to do this video, but the amount of requests I've had, I've decided today to do a video about citizens arrest in Australia. Are you allowed to arrest someone as a citizen or non-police officer? The basic answer to that is yes, you are. Now, before I get stuck into this video, just be aware that this is a generalisation of citizens arrest across Australia, Australia-wide. Each state has their own little laws and bylaws. If you want to get involved in this sort of stuff and be sure that you know what your requirements are in your particular state, look up citizens arrest in your state and then just read the legislation. Now, if you find reading that legislation too hard or too complicated, you probably should not even be getting involved in this, because if you arrest someone illegally, you could end up in a lot of trouble. But let's have a look at some of the rules surrounding this and whether or not it is actually a good idea to do it. Now, there are three situations where you could make a citizen's arrest. The first situation is if the person is in the act of committing an offence. The second situation is if the person that you are arresting has just committed an offence. And the third situation is if the person that you're arresting has committed a serious indictable offence that they have not been arrested for or charged for yet. And a serious indictable offence is an offence that attracts a 5-year prison term or more if convicted of that offence. Now, the most important thing with a citizen arrest is that the person doing the arresting has to have actual knowledge of the offence, and that you cannot arrest someone on reasonable suspicion that that person has committed the offence. You must have actual knowledge that the offence was actually committed. Now, when actually effecting the arrest, only a reasonable amount of force can be used, and only the amount of force absolutely necessary to effect the arrest. Anything else may be considered excessive. And the person being arrested must be delivered into police custody or handed over to authorities in the shortest possible time after the arrest has been completed. Now, also keep in mind that citizens arrest by nature can be very dangerous, and they can also leave you open to possible charges or civil action being taken against you by the person that was being arrested. Now, some examples where you may be able to do a citizen arrest is in case of a person shoplifting or stealing property, or a person on your premises that may have broken into your premises, seeing someone commit a violent offence or assault on another person, or a person driving drunk and maybe having an accident in the car trying to leave the scene of the accident. These are just some examples. There's countless more situations where you could possibly want to arrest someone. However, all these things do come with a lot of risk. If you get this wrong, you may end up getting charged for depriving the person of their freedom, or for assault, or even for kidnapping. And if it turns out the arrest wasn't lawful or possible excessive force was used, the person being arrested can then take you to court for damages and to claim compensation. I can read this straight from my phone. Here's an example. If the person arrested is injured, unnecessarily humiliated or degraded, or if they are not delivered promptly into police custody, they may render the arrest unlawful. So there's a lot of risks involved in doing this. And be aware that you will end up in court. Now, court cases, if you need legal representation, you may have ended up getting charged with assault or illegally arresting the person. This court case could easily cost you $50,000 to $100,000. Easily. So if it turns out that you got it wrong and you end up being charged with any offences in relation to the arrest, which is quite likely to happen, you may be up for $50,000, $100,000, even $200,000 in court fees to be able to defend and fight the matter in court yourself. So you really have to consider if the situation that you're in is worthwhile the time of going to court and the expense of going to court and the risk to yourself, your family and your family life. You may end up being financially ruined out of this. This could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars in court costs, solicitors' fees, and all the costs associated with that incident. Can you really afford that? Do you really want to spend that money? Is it worth it? These are questions you should be asking yourself before you consider any of this. There's very recently been an incident in Victoria where an ex-police officer, a retired police officer, went to arrest a teenager who he witnessed doing graffiti and attempted to arrest, was later charged with assault on that person. And that matter is still current and is still going to court. I might actually do a video about that very, very shortly, just to have a look at that particular case, but you can also look that up yourself on the internet and see what happened there. Now, I do hope that this answered a lot of the questions that you guys had in relation to this topic. Also, if anyone watching has had any sort of experience with this sort of incident happening to them, or even witnessing one of these incidents, or being part of one of these incidents, leave a comment down below and let us know what your personal experience is. I always look forward to seeing all the comments on my videos and reading all the interactions between the viewers. I do get some really stupid comments sometimes, but nonetheless, I do enjoy reading all the comments. If you enjoyed today's video, give me a big thumbs up and don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more videos from Aussie Prepper. Thanks for watching and bye for now.